Morning. So again, just continuing some of the technical aspects of the night of the Seder. I want to review again a little bit from yesterday, the liquid measurements, because we have to always be balancing, like I said, on the night of the Seder, making sure that we're fulfilling all the technical requirements as well. So as far as the four kosot, we said it's mitzvah d'Rabbanan. I want to go over it again just to make sure it was clear. The minimum requirement is a revi'it for each of the 4 cups, which is about 3 fluid ounces. Okay, so it's important to do a lot of these measurements before Chag. If you start measuring out shurim of matzah, shurim of maror for everybody by the table, it's going to be a big break. It's going to be a big delay when you get started, and it's going to really sort of interrupt the flow of the Seder. So all measurements should be taken in advance. All the measuring of the matzah, make sure you have enough wine and grape juice for everybody. All the measurements of the matzah should be taken in advance. All the measurements of the maror. So again, the mitzvah of the 4 kosot is midrabanan, 3 ounces per cup minimum. If you have a small cup that only holds the 3 ounces, you should drink the entire cup. If you have a larger cup, it's not necessary to drink the entire cup. Just make sure you get the majority of the cup, 51% lechatchila. It's hard for you to drink 51% of that larger cup each time, at least if you drink the 3 ounces from the cup, the 3 ounces that we eat from each of the 4 kosot. We mentioned that the mitzvah of matzah, achilat matzah, is midoraita. Okay, this is one of the 2 mitzvot of the night, which is doraita. The only mitzvah achila, which is doraita. The wine nowadays, and in general, is only midrabanan. So the mitzvah of matzah is doraita, and therefore we want to make sure that we do it in accordance with the proper amount. Okay, the matzah has to be, for the first time that we eat the matzah, the motzi matzah. For those who are capable of eating this amount, it should be 2 kizetim, the measurement of 2 kizetim. That's the mitzvah doraita. All the other achirot matzah are only midrabanan for the night. So only you have to have 1 if it's hard for you to have more than that. So when you start with motzi matzah, if you can push yourself to have the 2 kizetim to satisfy the requirement doraita. For the korech, which is zecher lemikdash, it's only drabanan, it's a remembrance of the Beit HaMikdash. So for the korech, you only have to have 1 kazait matzah. Okay, it's about 28 grams. There's all different measurements depending on the matzah that you have. Is it a thicker matzah, a thinner matzah? But make sure, according to Chamabadia, that we measure in grams, so it'll be about 28 grams per achilat matzah. When it comes to afikoman, also, only 1 kazait is necessary. 1 kazait, 28 grams of the achilat matzah for the afikoman. Another technical aspect to keep in mind is that ideally, lechatchila, the afikoman should be consumed by chatzot. Okay, and once a person is eating the matzah, once you're eating the afikoman, not everyone realizes you should not be speaking about other things. Sometimes it does take time to chew and to swallow that amount of matzah. People are sitting around the table, we've had a meal together, people sometimes start to converse. That should not be happening. You should not be talking during the achilat matzah. Also, we mentioned one of the technical aspects to keep in mind is the mitzvah of heseva. We are bnei chorin. We treat ourselves, as halacha requires on the night of Pesach, as royalty. We are mamlechet kohanim v'goy kadosh, and therefore the achilat matzah and the 4 kosot have to be, as we mentioned earlier, eaten or drunk beheseva, which is leaning. What is the proper format of leaning? Okay. We know that it has to be on the left side. There's 2 reasons for that. Most people are righties, and therefore they could eat with their right hand while they lean. If they're leaning on their right side, it would be harder for them to eat. And the other reason is because the esophagus, the food pipe, is on the left side, and halacha is always concerned that food shouldn't go down the wrong way, down the trachea. So we lean on the left-hand side, all the food should fall down on that side also. Lechatchilan, Sfaradi women also should be leaning. If it's hard for them, or it's inconvenient, they don't have to lean. It's not even a machloket whether or not women have to lean in general. But for the men, the chadchila, a person should lean, and if he forgot, he might have to repeat the achila or the shtiyah. How do you lean? You lean on your left side, as he mentioned. What the Mishnah Berurah mentions, the Achronim talk about hatayat harosh. Just merely rotating your head to the left is not really sufficient. A person has to lean on his left side. He has to lean on his left side. So he should do so in a fashion which is not resembling mourning. A person should just put his hand, support his head with his hand. That's not really good enough. A person should recline on your chair in a horizontal position on the left-hand side. So if you're going to be by a table, it's fine to lean left-hand side on the table, and you could support yourself, with your elbow on the table. Aside from normal rules of etiquette and manners, you can support yourself with your arm your left hand arm on the table. Okay, your left on the table, and that's important because again, if you don't do that, certainly for the motzi matzah and possibly for the kosot also, you have to go back and do it again. So these are some of the technical aspects. Again, just to review, all the 4 kosot, minimum revi'it, 3 ounces. We go according to the shur of Abraham Chaim Nair, 3 ounces for each of the 4 kosot. If you have a small kos that only holds that, drink the entire thing. If you have a large kos, which many people have, drink at least 51% of the kos each time, right? Majority of the kos. Or if that's hard for you, at least the minimum amount, which is the revi'it. Even if it's a larger kos, drink the 3 ounces each time. It has to always be in the reclined on the left-hand side position. For the matzah, try to have the 2 kezetot for motzi matzah. Afterwards, the korech and the afikoman, you're good with just 1 kazait, about 28 grams. Also reclining, have the afikoman by chatzot. No talking during the afikoman or the achilat matzah. Try to get it done within about 7 minutes of time that you're eating it. That's kedei achilat pras, and that counts as a regular amount of eating during, according to Torah measurements. Okay, so you have it within about 7 minutes of time.